Hey, everybody. Welcome to 13 Now, your special News Channel 13 YouTube newscast that we here at News Channel 13 love to put together for you every night. It's just a collection of some of the big top stories that we got cooking here at News Channel 13. With you always is me, Steve Cooge, and I'm joined by the wonderful Wanique Martinez, who's going to break down your weather. And boy, Wanique, we've got some serious weather here today. That's actually our big first story that we're covering just because of how insane it is. I mean, we're in April now. April 3rd in springtime, and we've got very serious winter weather blowing our way. We're going to
Yes,
talk
Steve.
about that right now. And
Mhm.
I mean, just what's your take on it, really quick? I mean, this kind of seems kind of bizarre, when you don't you think, to have a winter storm this late in the season?
It does, but it's not out of the question. I have heard that this happens, often in, the Northeast. So it is the first week of April, but, winter weather is not over just yet. We do keep a total of that snowfall all the way, I think, until the end of April. So, people expect it.
Hmm. Right. Well, we're expecting it, and I guess what something people in our region can expect is potentially power outages, down trees. Starting off, we've got some extremely powerful wind gusts that are blowing in our way. Some of our forecasting models are tracking gusts of up to 70 miles per hour for tomorrow. Other people are going to have standard gusts of 40 miles per hour. And when you have wind speeds in that area, you're going to have downed trees that could even lead to downed power lines, which is going to lead to power outages across the capital. I mean, even already tonight at this hour, we're getting reports of thousands of power outages across the capital region. So we've got this first warning alert that is in effect tonight going into tomorrow, Thursday. We're going to have rain continuing in some of the valleys, and also a very strong chance that that rain is going to turn into this stuff, snow for some of the higher elevation areas, the foothills, the mountains. So don't be surprised also if you've got a little bit of snow and slush to deal with on the roads as you head into work tomorrow for your morning drive. National Grid tells us they, along with many other cities, have crews ready to deal with this, and power outages and snow plowing might just be something that they need to do. All right, well, now to a follow up for a much more serious story that we're also covering here, sad one. This one involving a heartbreaking incident that took place in Fulton County. A woman who was killed in a crash with her kid in the vehicle right with her. It's a story we told you about first last night. We learned now that it was a young mother. This is a sheriff here who is investigating the case. We're told it was a young mother who was killed in the crash. Her name is Andrea Russell. Her 3-year-old daughter was in the back seat of the vehicle when this crash happened, but amazingly, the daughter wasn't injured. The sheriff told us that young girl's name is Zoe, and she was unhurt, alert, smiling at the scene when officers got there, really not understanding what was happening during the situation. The crash took place here where you see at the intersection of Fulton Street and Turkey Farm Road, also known as Route 29A and Route 30A. There's a Dunkin' Donuts there, not too far from a CVS. Andrea Russell's soft top Jeep was hit by a minivan, officials tell us, and she was thrown out of her vehicle. Not sure if she was wearing a seatbelt or what. Her daughter, Zoe, almost 4 years old, was strapped, thankfully, into her car seat in the back of the vehicle where she was supposed to be. And officials tell us because her seat was properly installed, it likely saved her life. Well, now to a much more happier, uplifting story, and it'll be an extremely happy story if this all comes true for you. It's the story about the Powerball jackpot. It's a story I love running because, again, it's fun to dream, isn't it? You think about the odds, which are insane. I mean, it's basically like one person in America could win this. One person. So, put your finger on a map and pick one person out of all 300 million of us. That's kind of what the odds are. But, throwing a couple of bucks at it never hurts to dream. Because think of what you could do if you had $1.1 billion. That is what the Powerball jackpot is now up to. Insane stuff here. $1.1 billion. Wow. The next drawing is at 10:59 tonight. I believe they cut off the drawing at like 10:30 or even 10:45. So you have a chance to enter before then. And if you haven't, I mean, again, tickets are $2. Doesn't hurt, but definitely bust out your 4-leaf clovers and your lucky rabbit's feet. You're going to need them. The odds, as I mentioned, 292.2 million to 1. Again, with the jackpot of $1 billion, if you bought 292.2 million tickets, you would still probably pocket tens of millions of dollars. If you take the all cash option up front, you get an instant $527 million. I'd like that. I know, Wanique, you would like that. You're talking about buying a house. You could probably buy the biggest house in the entire country for that price, wherever you want.
I would
Um,
love that.
what's your favorite like statistic about like Powerball and the Mega Millions and how difficult it is to win? Do you have one? Like for instance, I'm. It turns out you're more likely to be born with 11 fingers or toes than you are to win the Powerball jackpot. Anything that comes to your mind?
I think my favorite one is you are more likely to get hit by a meteor.
Yeah. And how? I mean, how many of us have friends that have been hit by a meteor ever? Right? Do you know somebody?
No, I don't.
Well, again, I don't know anybody who's also won the Powerball jackpot, so I guess that kind of lines up and makes sense, right?
It does, yeah.
Anyway, we need to get down to the really important stuff with why you're here, and that's this wintry weather that we have on the way. Can you break that down for us, Monique?
Of course, we are in a first warning alert day that lasts all the way until tomorrow, and we are still tracking that transition from rain to snow. We are also tracking gusty winds, and those gusty winds have led to widespread power outages. Now, we are keeping an eye on those power outage numbers, and we'll give you a detailed description of those when we go live at 9 on My 4. But for now, let's take a live look outside at Amsterdam on the CDP HP first warning cam. The roads are wet, it's a little misty out there with temperatures in the lower 30s. Now, over the next few hours, you'll notice that temperatures will stay in the 30s. And all these temperatures will stay above freezing, so expecting rain. Now, we could have that mix as we go into the overnight hours. We have a secondary low that will actually pump in colder air into our atmosphere, so we are tracking that transition as well. Peak wind gust speeds today, 63 miles per hour in North Adams, 58 in Steventown, 52 in Bennington, 37 in Albany, 36 in Amsterdam. So winds will continue to be gusty as we head throughout the evening. Right now, we have wind gusts at 58 miles per hour in Bennington and 24 in Pittsfield. It's less breezy in the greater capital region, but notice those wind gust speeds will continue to stay breezy as we head throughout the overnight hours tonight and as you start your day tomorrow. Now, tonight, in Bennington, those wind gust speeds will continue to gust upwards near 60 miles per hour, and tomorrow winds will calm down slightly, but then pick back up as we go throughout the day on Friday. We do have a high wind warning in effect because of these gusty winds. This expires at 10 a.m. on Thursday. Now, we do have a few areas of low pressure in play right now, and that's why we are tracking that transition from rain to snow, and we are expecting that transition to happen later into the overnight hours tonight. So let's time you out hour by hour. We do have a rain-snow mix right now. We did have a break in that precipitation earlier, but those showers have started to fill back in. We'll continue to see those showers fall as we go throughout the overnight hours, and then as that colder air works in, that snow will start to fall. That transition will happen first for the higher elevations and next for the hills and rather the lower elevations in the greater capital region. Now, on Thursday morning, notice we have more blue across this map. That's because we'll have that colder air working in, so more snow is expected to fall. Snow will start to taper off as we go throughout the afternoon, becoming more scattered in nature, and then that will become even more scattered as we go throughout the evening. By Thursday evening, we'll start to see that snowy activity wrap up, and then we could still have lingering showers as we go throughout the overnight hours and as you start your day on Friday. Now, with Friday, we're expecting less coverage, but still keep an eye on the forecast because we could still see rain and snow showers in the forecast. Now, notice as we go throughout the afternoon and evening on Friday, that coverage will start to pick back up slightly, seeing a rain-snow mix in the greater capital region and parts of the lower elevations. So it is an active few days of weather that we are having, and we will see improving conditions as we go throughout the weekend. We'll still have lingering showers on Saturday, but by Sunday, looking like partly sunny skies. Tonight, overnight lows drop down into the lower 30s. We are in a first warning alert day. That continues tomorrow with high temperatures tomorrow topping out in the upper 30s. We'll still see breezy winds rather on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and by Monday, we'll have temperatures in the lower 60s, and that will continue through Wednesday.
Oh, it is going to be a messy next couple of days that we're in store for. As long as Monday with that awesome eclipse doesn't have a cloud in the sky. Okay, maybe a couple of clouds. I'll be okay with that, Winique. But, again, fingers crossed. It's looking like we will actually have a clear view in some portions of the state for the eclipse.
Yeah, fingers
That's
crossed.
great news. We just got to get through these next few days because that looks really messy. Yeah, go see a movie. Plan something inside with your friends. Go bowling if you are into that. Anything just to avoid this cold rain. You know what they're sending me up onto the rooftop? Did you hear that? They're putting me up on
Oh,
the rooftop for tonight at 9 o'clock. So, what is it, 8:45? I'm going to get my raincoat and my umbrella on because they want me live from the rooftop to report on the rain. It's going to be one
very
of those fun, like, if you couldn't tell, it's raining outside. I know we got meteorologists and a lot of expensive equipment here to tell you that it's raining outside, but I am here living proof, getting rain, and to tell you, yes, that rain is falling, and it is falling on me right now. Back to you guys in the studio, the warm, dry studio. Anyhow. Well, everybody, thank you guys so much for joining us. As I just mentioned, we are going to be live at 9 o'clock on My 4 with a full update on all these things we just talked about, especially this wintry weather that is now blowing into town here in the capital region. And then we'll be back again at 11 o'clock on NBC News Channel 13 with a full recap of everything you need to know before you start your day tomorrow. Anyway, I've been Steve Cooge and Monique. Thank you for being here as always. You really do light up this entire 13 Now production.
Thank you, Steve.
All right. We'll see you guys at 9 and 11. Bye for now.